live stream. What is better than pretending to work in your home office? Working on open source backup bounties, obviously, right? And one low-hanging fruit, I mean, people already complaining. I mean, I, as a unsuccessful one-man YouTuber and Linux distribution and stuff, here with my tiny little company, which also don't delay and obviously try it today and stuff here, all good code. Yeah, usually you don't get paid for open source stuff, and I have here feature bounties of implement some small stuff, even increased it, right? So like, yeah, 20 euro, like, you know what, even 40, it's like, also it's up, right? 10 bounties already 400 euro stuff. People's like, yeah, that's not enough to work on, but yeah, welcome 2022, world economic crisis and pandemic and stuff, and CTO, CEO working, pretending to work in home office, working on their own feature bounties. What is the issue? So LibreOffice, I said it before, with our Linux distribution, right, if you're new to this stuff, we have a whole Linux distribution because obviously real humans have, and supporting 24 plus architectures. And of course, LibreOffice doesn't build. And I thought this is actually one of the smaller things, right? And so the points are obviously I eventually need that. It would be nice to have, even for all the 2,000 packages I don't need of the 4,000 whatever we have. Certainly most packages like KDE and GNOME I don't need, but LibreOffice is actually kind of nice to have, obviously, for your daily desktop here of the desktop Linux workflow. And I mean, honestly, I think nearly everyone with a tiny little bit Linux code knowledge could have done that in 1 hour. So yeah, 40 euros there. But this bounty is gone. You can go to the other ones, right? And in my opinion, I think it would be kind of fair one. So I prepared already a little bit before the lunch break here this morning, pretending to work on open source stuff. And so the issue is, if we build this in T2, it doesn't build. I should have that here somewhere. And after diagnosing that a tiny little bit, so as you see here, I hope that is on the screen, building that, like, I always wondered, why does it build for other people but not for us? And I guess because now, like, building it manually, it actually built as easy as it. I mean, I'm not impressed with all the hundreds of crazy dependencies, building its own skier and maybe even Poplar and who knows what. It probably can. Like, yeah, it builds their kind of stuff. I actually went for lunch even on an epic thread-ripping Ryzen 1550X. Report design. It's like, yeah, crazy dependencies, right? I have actually even not an idea. Maybe I should modify my prompt to print the date so I know when it finished. But the point is, it finished. I mean, it didn't properly detect like isymling, libgl, and libx, various miscellaneous libx11 stuff, because of course, like major open source packages nowadays, they don't properly use package config to use the install prefixes, so they wouldn't find gl, egl, and libx11 and stuff. But anyway, the point is, it built, and manually, automatically it doesn't. So let's do that again, probably. Otherwise, where did I? Maybe yesterday I forgot to commit cbind. I just remembered, like you know that at midnight you like, I forgot to commit something. People can't build my Linux distribution. So there you have it. And so yeah, let's build that then. So we will work on that now, LibreOffice. All I know that manually with this workarounds, and so on, right? It actually built. And the reason I also need this, I mean, theoretically, eventually need that, like really need that for our tiny little office, obviously. Here, I should have actually not have closed it, right? Don't late try our solutions that mostly just work every day. And all right, download it. Yeah, also not impressed with that, right? This is a code design. So as much as I work on this now, like the whole thing is not recommendable by me, right? Too big of a code base, too many of the dependencies. I really missed the times. Somehow everyone wants everything but the kitchen thing. And this is, I think, architecturally total design fail. Billions, if not 10 millions or so lines of code. All those dependencies, and then that they don't even use system dependencies, right? In my opinion, that each time you build this, it's like downloading all this, not to say random, but like dependencies, like it's kind of even libw and ck or something. which as far as I remember is a terminal library. The right thing to do, in my opinion, is to use the system dependencies as like installed libraries, frameworks inside the system, which on Linux distributions, sure, on Mac OS and Windows, you don't have those crazy dependencies. On a Linux distribution, however, you should be able to install most of them, all of them. And also, I should say, it is in general, even with this many micro dependencies, and by the way, I only talk now because we actually need to freaking wait here, right? Now it starts building. So, and I say that because to encourage you to think more critical, because this, in my opinion, we should also not design software like this cathedrals. This, because why? I mean, not only it's a huge code base to review all this stuff, it needs like a huge dozens of developers to even maintain that, right? And who even wants to work on that? This is by the issue that we need to talk and that we need to tackle. And so it built like 5 years ago, and some versions it broke the last 5 years. And I always wondered there must be something majorly wrong. I wondered how it built all this, but I think it's probably as simple as exporting those environment variables like CC and CXX is also like basically everything of Libre OpenOffice or other big cathedral open source projects, like even unfortunately Firefox, not to mention Chrome, too big to fail. And this should be more like a bazaar, like quoting the famous cathedral bazaar stuff. What I mean with that is that it should not be like one monolithic huge piece of stuff. It should be more plugins, like one small core thing, and then optional plugin things, because I mean, usually you don't need hundreds of those dependencies of whatever the WordPress, framework, or whatever this commercial Office suite things have been from decades ago, or Microsoft, whatever. So, in my opinion, it would make this more maintainable, more reviewable for security and stuff. But now let's. So yeah, but this is also this is the same thing with monolithic kernels, like one big monolithic Linux or BSD kernel in contrast to microkernel. Yes, performance. Also, with kernel, performance is one thing, but in this case, I would not even like. Sure, Office suites are slow, but I mean Office suites also slow because of this monumental cathedral construction of everything but the kitchen sink, or maybe even they have hiding a kitchen sink, wouldn't surprise me, in there. But let's pretend to work here at home and snitch up our own bounty here. That I get the bonus, pretending to work in the home office. Yay! Who wouldn't want to have a little sidekick of moonlighting here? And that. What do we have there? Comments already. Unhappy with cathedrals projects. Quite a nice definition of it. You mean what I just? I mean, I didn't even main operating system. I mean, unless you. I mean, people were joking. Emacs is an operating system, like seriously, LibreOffice is like nowadays, and this is the crazy stuff, right? 2022, freaking browsers and bloody Office suites already their own cathedral of an operating system. Wouldn't surprise me if eventually they include. I mean, there will probably be a year we run Snap, Snap and whatnot, and container stuff. That when we boot like to bare metal, like eventually we will have application sandboxes that we run in virtualization, right? Like Xen. A plugin or like multitask to your Cubes OS LibreOffice container thing. It is so sad. Anyway, so I think because it builds, so the issue is that it doesn't find its libraries, and I tried to YOLO that resulted only in LTO GCC plugin internal compiler errors. Who knows what's going on wrong there? I suspect it must be because it builds manually, so then it can only be something in our environment. And I tried that, so now it becomes unfortunately a little bit of a trial and error thing. So trial and error, what I mean with that is trying to figure out how to build this shit. And so this is how we build this, and maybe even, so somehow it does this J32 stuff internally. I don't remember what I tried months ago, but one thing for sure is it should built somehow. It could also be like when I built manually, I configured it slightly differently. I basically followed, I should have LibreOffice. Home something. I basically followed I mean, I don't need to follow Ubuntu and Arch Linux and stuff. So I followed Slackware, which, I mean, it's like most minimal and somewhat similar to T2, which was not much of instruction anyway. I had this open earlier today. Is it that one? Or how to build air? How to build overview. No, I want just freaking Linux. Was it that one? Maybe. So of course for all the distributions like air, apt-get install whatever dependency. I mean, apt-get install these dependencies, right? Pacman, whatever needed, plus it's 200 cathedral of monumental dependency galore they load there. And then here was somewhere Slackware off. Also, yeah, pro tip if you want to follow stuff like... I mean, as if the funny thing is this documentation I think is outdated because when I run this, I got disable GStreamer unknown option, something there in configure, so I think it's much good. Okay, so that alone did not fix it, which doesn't surprise me the most. I think I tried that even this morning or some days ago, grep cc. So we need to, I mean, maybe we try the following thing. We first could try if manually running make like that. So what we basically need to find out, we need to find which configuration node also wants to reconfigure to grep. So we basically need to figure out which setting, which I suspect should be some CC or whatever in the make ops or apparently in the environment, which is also not good style, right? If you configure stuff like in your environment, like CC, cross-compile, CXX, whatever, it should just work and not like randomly not work. Let's reconfigure. I think it wanted reconfigure. I probably should have read this more though, but so this is a relatively long configure, and this is what we currently have hard-coded in T2. Let's see what happens with that one. So I basically want to test, so I basically randomly need to try and figure which of those environments variables prevents this build here. I suspect it must be something like CCLD or stuff. Actually, maybe they use LD as, but yeah, this is the thing, right? 2022 and our software architecture is not only this monumental fail of an untrusted code base of this cathedral construction here, but also you build something. Oh, the failed already, I think. Oh, so maybe. And then stuff doesn't build and gives you random error messages. I mean, it could still be, it's some configure option. What's going on here? Okay, that is crazy. Maybe it's some configure option then. Let's maybe move that to there. So yeah, it takes some time, but this 40 euro bounty, in my opinion, should have been easy. Mirror Libre Office. There's, by the way, they prepare 7.4. I saw that, but there's still some alpha. Oh, wait a second, or could it? You know what it could actually be? It could also, I mean, yeah, it could be multiple things. In this X file I just grabbed a second ago, the relatively long configure options. What did I want to say? All right, it could be another thing, which is I think we might mount is or maybe not. So this isn't a little bit older. Oh no, mount, I mean. It's a little bit older T2 install, like from last year or something. because on new ones we mount tempif as no exec. You choose. But we don't have that there. This could also be at times a thing that stuff wants to execute stuff in their own directories. Maybe we should actually put on the to-do. Maybe we need to remount this, not serve to clean more to-do, because nothing like having long to-do is while pretending to work in home office. So tempfs, maybe remount tempfs exec. I suspect some packages may need that. We need to double check that. So what did we do there? We think we configured that. All right, it's freshly unpacked. We run as root, which they are indeed right. We patched this away, just I freshly did that. Yeah, he probably hates that trick. Although, yeah, he probably hates employees snitching their own bounties. Although maybe they don't. Probably he is so poor and needs to rely on other people's investment that maybe he doesn't have money for bounties. I heard actually, speaking of which, while we wait for this, yeah, this is my point, right? They should use system dependencies, and now it's downloading this. It's wasting again a minute or two downloading this stuff. And ideally, so the thing is, I have multiple problems with that. Not only like if you build this in a year, like you might build the stable release trunk of T2, and some downloads might not be there in a year anymore. In a year anymore. Also, do they? Yeah, they download this from LibreOffice or not from the origin upstream URL. Very theoretically, we also, because, and then if you download that with T2, with our Linux distribution, and you want to continue like working like by traveling, like also exactly what C executives usually want from you, like keep working on business travel, like you travel by train or plane or stuff, or just wait for bloody conference to start, and then you don't have the sources, right? You sit in a train, you don't even have interrupted G5, G4 connection and stuff, and then you even if you have G5 or stuff connectivity, then you waste your precious data plan for downloading all the shits that you should have had on your laptop. So it's wrong on so many levels. What else did I wanted to say? Hating that trick. All right, I wanted to say, bridging this, I actually read that SpaceX, I mean, this is crazy stuff, right? All the big companies, it's so crazy, right? They are so rich, and then they misuse not only interns, like unpaid interns, and they're just for the honor to work with holy Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. And I remember I read or saw some documentary, maybe even in the German TV, that SpaceX had their really shady programs going on of outsourcing stuff to university departments, or like having them work for free and shit. And it's like, yeah, becoming rich for a reason. So this is super crazy. Why does this not work? So I mean, it must be then, I guess, this configure options. What did you even, this is so crazy, because here in this one, as you see, it freaking built TM. This is so crazy. Yeah, the bigger the project, this is also pro tip, right? So yeah, it freaking, in this tree, I literally have not done anything else. You know what, let's rename that from LibreOffice to LibreOffice build, and let's maybe let's it doesn't matter too much. Actually, nowadays the more efficient probably should be. Don't have. I don't have proper help for that. Also, I think the latest version defaults to reflink, so CPRV, or what is it? AR should be enough, right? I think this was always from LibreOffice built to LibreOffice. Should be more efficient nowadays than rsync. I would hope, especially with this? Yes, it should be BetterFS. So it should do a copy on right reflink LibreOffice. Let's try that again here. Make this clean because the other one should be in tempfs. Let's run this X again. What? Oh, don't tell me maybe I have no space left. No, it didn't complain. What? Make this clean, remove the out. Now I'm confused. Does this clean remove it? There's also crazy things. This happened. If you don't configure, this is so crazy, right? And stellar build quality and cathedral projects and stuff. I'm not making this stuff up. This happened. I extracted the tarballs, just one configure, and I got this already. Although, to be fair, can it be which I mean, you know what could also be crazy? Yeah, maybe this has been, I have probably dash here. Yeah. I wonder if, maybe this, I mean, this for sure is probably a dash thing. I wonder if our other problems also result from that. However, previously it did build like that. Let's try that again. So the difference is I've auto-gen that so that we hopefully have this somewhat working configure script. Let's see what, so yeah, it is, yes. I didn't say this bounty issues, I mean, I made this in bounty exactly for the reason that I thought I have better things to do, and I thought, and that is the thing, right, Cheng? I think there was a bit already crazy, I think. But yeah, I mean, a little bit, yes, I'm complaining about everything. I mean, maybe everything sucks also, TM. Do I have this? Yes, this failed. This is crazy. Let's just put this on our merchandise to do. Thinking big here. Where's our merchandise? Shit, somewhere here off. Do we have critical thinking already? Ah, there we have it already. Something of that sort. This is not final, just brainstorming. So, do I have that with, I think I've run it like that, except with disable. Do I have cache? Do I have this in? This is how I should have run that. That would be extremely crazy. I mean, I expected. Oh no, it doesn't find libgl. Wait a second. That is not previously built. What the heck? That does also occur here. Oh, I'm confused. It would be really crazy. Why does it now not find libgl? That is somehow new. It would be extremely crazy. I expected some environment variable like cculd and provoking, influencing that. But if this is just some build option, that would be even crazier, because somehow I still like basically kind of bisecting, but trying to figure out what the freaking heck is going wrong here. Where is even, yes, I'm right. What do we get there? libegl required. I thought I had some old Zoom though. Specifically, why did it build earlier? Did I not have Zoom up? I'm not sure how that happened now. So you should normally not do that. I just want to, and normally I would not do that if it were not for this testing here. Did I accidentally close this? Apparently. I don't only do this for testing. I want to minimize here this. Oh, this still doesn't. Slightly wonder how it worked some minutes ago. Like easy EGL ones. What? EGL. This is how I accidentally closed it probably. There's a point of today's live stream is to get LibreOffice finally built, because I obviously can't wait. So yeah, I can't wait longer for other people to take on this bounty. What? I mean, yes, I understand it, but it's anyway silly that they need to have this. That's like, I don't know. But yeah, I built this as root because for archiving all these permissions and stuff. What is going freaking on now? What is this, my system? Except nothing. Why is even more crazy stuff happening? I did this build previously. That is crazy. Wait, did it check for Kling there actually? Let's try this in the other directory just to... Yeah, this is crazy. Each time I build here something, some other random shit is happening. What? File something, blank tag doesn't exist in the tower. You can't make this shit up. It's hilarious. Speaking of this, dozens of monumental dependencies. Yeah, libpng, this is exactly the thing, right? Continuing with that, Skia, you have seen the libjpeg turbo, so libpng, and libping, if that makes you more happy. Natural ventilation doesn't happen in the home office anymore. Dash asks, doesn't the self-packaging can cause issues with linking? Well, you normally, not necessarily, usually. I mean, if there are no bugs, right? Famous last word, if there are no bugs. But I mean, if they set up their build system and link against their own library, sure. I mean, it can happen if they confuse their make system and have some include order, like having the wrong includes. But I mean, it's not that difficult to have their own their own internal headers first, like popline stuff as you've seen there. And even this is barcode, I think it's barcode recognition, right? As ZXING. So yeah, I mean, this works right now. Okay, why does the other not work? Right, okay, we did, okay, make clean. So this was, we configured just with, we had, maybe I should also have done make clean. Okay, so the difference was we configured with just simple options. We should also make clean. Maybe we should have done this initially, but yeah. This is always regenerated. I need to keep deleting that because with this GNU Auto stuff, this is always regenerated. But I don't have so much a problem of accidentally linking against their own library system libraries and stuff. I have more issue of if there are security things, you update your Linux distribution and you don't think that stuff is bundling stuff there. So yeah, that obviously doesn't work, as you see. So the crazy thing is that we have here really which of those options should it now freaking be? I mean, maybe we should script it, right? Recurring pro tip here, optimize the freaking heck out of it. Automate the heck out of it, and there's no replacement for automation or more automation. Maybe I should like have a shell script with C, with Cache, go over those options and try which one we can add until this shit breaks. But yeah, this is the stuff, right? Just please freaking use my system libraries and then like even disable skew. The thing is also, I added a lot of those like a year ago, maybe in another live stream, because I didn't want to download all those random garbage, right? I don't need an open office suite with barcode recognition and so on. By the way, there is some. Okay, they're a lot nicer. So the problem is we probably want to even X headers, right? It looks like maybe they even freaking bundle their own freaking X headers. I mean, who possibly would think that that is a great idea? Is that even really, or is it some? I think I messed this here up, didn't I? This is probably this must be some copy and paste or SED issue here. No, you know what, I think I remember that. I did this intentionally, 1 year later. I probably did this intentionally to disable those actually for now. Because we don't have the packages. So this is a lot of the stuff that we would need to package then ourselves. Yeah, the bigger the packages, the more freaking options. I mean, in some comments also, I think someone else had maybe this comment, some also self-explanatory. I mean, first I want this freaking package to work. I mean, Java support without Java, yeah, thank you very much. How to best tackle that? I mean, for a start, we could actually, what we could do, and we should somehow cache all those freaking downloads. Do we even have disable Ccache? We could actually override all of the stuff and see if it builds something, and then gradually add stuff back or something. Maybe that would be a viable path. We probably should double check that it builds on tempfs. I mean, why should it not? But who knows what crazy stuff is going on there. Let's make 2 tests before we spend even more time. How long are we? Yeah, 40 minutes. Dash asks, where does it build the break? The build breaks relatively quickly with not finding its own freaking libsol stuff. I also wonder how this should be related to... yes, freaking root users. Actually, you know what? I should actually patch the freaking makefile in. That would be the clever thing to do, actually. It breaks very early, and this is also the crazy stuff. Oh no, right? It fetches more stuff because now we don't build this disable all this, even freaking boost, right? I mean, this is so crazy, right? We have. I mean, it's not a viable. Imagine each open source projects, being it GIMP or Firefox. We have Firefox, of course, doing that, but Zodipodi, this vector drawing thing, KiCad, OBS, which they also do a little bit of exotic dependencies, I think. But imagine each freaking project like Conqueror from KHTML or from KDE or Evolution or even like GNOME Terminal. Imagine each package like GNOME Terminal and stuff. They would download all their hundreds of dependencies. I mean, for what do we have a freaking operating system, right? It's nuts. And Boost is Boost is a very widespread C++ like incubator thing. Yeah, they package everything under the sun in the kitchen, but the kitchen sink. I mean, they probably even freaking package the kitchen sink. It's hilarious. Cheers. Do we have any other? Did we? I think I did run data. Let's see if data did something. Hey, data did some. Oh, other people also have done something amazing, probably. Notec or what? Cbinding, Klasner, library working with Windows registry, Hive binary files, C library for encoding, decoding, manipulating data, amazing stuff. Plus data, also, you know what, at that pace, T2 soon takes over the world. I think Elon Musk only needs to start saving up to buy out T2, as long as he can still afford it. Yeah, so with this downloads, so the crazy thing is, I mean, for this, like, not disabling anything, it's probably easily downloading 100 things, like even freaking Clue Scene core. I'm basically nearly speechless. I mean, Firefox unfortunately does it also because I think they patched like libpng or libmng. They had some animated PNGs, MNG stuff or something with different alpha transparency or stuff, because one animated ping with alpha transparency and stuff standard wasn't enough. Of course, I think they had to innovate another. There's also CoinMP or whatever CoinMP. You know what? I'm curious what the freaking is CoinMP. Also best with I and C library for. I mean, so do I have here also package some of its? Okay, to be fair, maybe we should split that. I mean, to be fair, maybe 40 euro of Bounty L wasn't enough to also package all its freaking I think, okay, maybe I do this another day. So maybe I leave there, even if I close it, I mean, I'm obviously more generous than Elon Trump or stuff. I think I leave this bounty open differently. I probably modify that because I think I will get something compiled today. As we're not pretending to work. I mean, freaking expert, right? I mean, the stuff like each freaking, I mean, what I probably should do is at least, we probably, not to waste time, we should in parallel start testing which of those options do not fail. We obviously have some epic thread ripping horizon potential there to idle while downloading shit. So what were the options? So what we can do is prepare. Also to finish, I think I didn't, maybe not finish that certain sentence. I meant I leave this bug open, like with the bounty L, to still package all those optional dependencies, like all the crazy stuff that we currently do not have in our repository. So if you want, after this live stream, still earn money pretending to work in your home office or stuff, then there will still be something left for you. Plus all the others, there are more open bounties, obviously. LibreOffice, LibreOffice, there we have that, and then export there, and let's also use system IC warehouse. Like, yeah, you can't even make this shit up. This is so hilarious. Yeah, so all the obvious ones, we should basically test actually. How do we best do that? So LibreOffice, I think this currently builds, right? Yeah, it's still downloading. I mean, to all fairness, with this failing Vodafone DOCSIS there in our business internet stuff in the office, because it is running in the office, the download usually is not that bad. We pay for 500 Mbit, I think, 500 down, 50 up, which upstream is mostly distorted, but the downstream is usually sort of okay. So oftentimes we even get 500 Mbit, even if the upstream is total garbage. So what do we get here? Download. Although it might actually limit it by, what is it even freaking downloading now? ICU4C. Oh, of course. You can't mix this stuff up. Yeah, basically it's basically a mini operating system Linux distribution thing. Also, yeah, half-pass, right? I rest my case. It's no further questions. So we probably can pre-populate those there. There's a handful we might end up still needing there. So yeah, I see, where's the download speed? Received, something, average. So yeah, I guess this 182K, this might actually be limited by their own dev server there at dev-www LibreOffice. So yeah. It's hilarious. And then obviously you're right, you have epic thread ripping resources at your fingertips and you're freaking waiting for this bloody gazillion downloads to eventually ever download. Let's tr that, tr space to new line to beta, new line. Or actually, let's maybe sed a new line to space to space to a space and escaped and new line and globally. Yeah, that is what I wanted. And then let's x2 that, or wait, let's cache. All right, do I have what's over there? Without rc cache. So configure this shit with our Java, with all the other C cache. And then prefix, actually that is maybe nice to have. Let's see if that shit works. Disable debug, yeah, let's maybe, I mean, it could potentially be that means something as simple as that thing also is disturbing that. Let's remove all the X stuff that community flavor, thank you very much. Just to get a better overview, if we constantly look at this X out things, we don't see the forest between all those trees here. Yeah, system. I mean, it is the amount of this stuff is crazy, right? CPP unit, expert LCM2, OpenSSL, epoxy PNG, bin suffix. I'm not sure what that was, but was installed audio name. Not sure. It's probably some old-fashioned stuff that we had there. Systemgc, don't tell me they're downloading their own. Do they download their own freaking compiler? You never know. This disable Java we had at the end actually. So yeah, there's so many options. I mean, granted, some are there for historic reasons that we needed 10 years ago. I mean, someone added some of those 10 years ago, and at that time they made some sense. Yeah, this stuff is still downloading. This is ridiculous. Nice. So let's see how far we get. Probably 45 minutes, obviously. Okay, I think I saw a build error there already. Of course, I don't appreciate. I mean, I understand why it happens, but I also don't appreciate the most that. Yeah, this is a build error. This is crazy. Oops. So that should have worked. Let's double check that. I double check that better, not because I learned already over the years. If I just continue now, there might be other stuff nodes that in some other random ways broke again. All right, it doesn't like the JS32 stuff. So the problem is we can't be extremely. I mean, maybe we should build with J1. Although the freaking build system overrides it anyway, so it's pointless. I think it builds, so I think usually it. Oh, I had J2. It's a little bit tricky to spot this. Okay, but I think this is a combination that works. It's this error. Usually it errors out extremely quickly. Okay, that didn't work. We could. So I mean, let's first try the obvious things, which is this. Or did I delete this x86 build thing? Did I? Maybe apparently I deleted it already. Okay, then okay, we didn't use that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like just specifying something like libdir breaks it. I mean, after 20 years, nothing surprises me anymore. It's just crazy all about here. Let's maybe disable that, or like no, this, like try that, and then we try disable system GCC or whatever it is using there. But here you see that it nothing is in the environment, right? So my initially suspicion that it's setting some LD or CC compiler or linker is not the culprit, because it also didn't work here. So yeah, so it's still downloading. Okay, that still happens there. So that is still the same error with this Unosol stuff there. Let's try that one. Maybe also with Arch. Although, can we somehow let's X those to have a better overview what we disable now. Not otherwise we might. Oops. Let's try that again. I probably should script it better so that like that there's less like chance of forgetting make clean. And yeah, let's see. Was the error built? It might be that I saw it there already. Maybe should we? Not found? No. No. Should here. I was joking a year ago. Ryzen Epic Threadripping Ryzen 50 faster to build errors, right? If that is what I mean, right? It's like you built it and. Okay, here's the LTO wrapper fails now, but we are not out of space. Apparently not. It's so crazy. What a waste. I mean, as I said in the beginning, I know why I made this a bounty. I really hope some student or someone wants did we not run make clean? So then we run make clean. Or is it not using cling? Don't tell me a difference is it's somehow defaulting to cling. Do we have cling installed? Not always. Can we have that here? Latest cling 14. Dash writes good if you have a list of what needs to be packaged for. Yeah, basically, if you mean working on this, you basically can look into the currently already packaged LibreOffice. Basically everything. LibreOffice. Basically everything that has here some system thing right here, all of this crazy stuff basically. Plus more, this, I think I grabbed it, but there might be more. So basically that plus, I mean, that's already quite a list. Could, something of that sort. Yeah, so that built, so this still, we didn't totally fuck up this. Maybe we should, which, is it already, oh, this is still downloading shit, that's hilarious. So it should be still one of those options, that is so crazy. Which could this be? Let's first think smart before we work harder. I mean, this should be disabled, you never know though, but with this, this should be off. I don't see, I mean, that's the crazy stuff, right? That you normally, you wouldn't even think that any of this stuff breaks. some bin filled or whatever. That I thought I could deleted one of those already, but maybe there's another one. Let's delete this dear things and it's like it shouldn't, or like, let's see. It should make a difference, but you never know what's going on with this stuff. I should also, does it work like that? The problem is now okay, it still doesn't work. I should make a better, I mean, we can always regenerate that. I should make a better copy though. Just to better know what not. I see it already coming once it builds and then we don't know what we last removed. Also documenting that here live on YouTube, so I could always rewind. So it wasn't that, but you never know. Is it disable debug? Is it extension integration? How should I know what freaking builds the build here? Maybe something with GTK3? Maybe some UI stuff is? But in general, in my critical thinking theme here, we should neither architect software, whether open or closed doesn't matter. We shouldn't architect software like even Microsoft's Office, obviously, but this here also son of previously Star Division, then Sun, now Document Foundation stuff. And here's enable GTK though. Yeah. We shouldn't architect it like that. And then the crazy stuff is also, architecture aside, we still have like 40 plus years of information technology and computer science, and we still are in a situation where this build tool, oh wait, I wanted to do this. This build tools and setup is so that you don't even clearly see what's happening. I mean, I understand why, because we simply use 30 plus year old architecture, like even Make, which, I mean, not even that much against Make, just the whole integration and surrounding stuff and compilers and how we in 40 plus years architectured all the software, that it's this monumental foundation of sand, of rust, of rotten architecture. Normally it should just way more, I mean, it's also because everything is so YOLO together, right? Everything's just clobbered together, everyone just quirked and hacked and stuff. I mean, we could, you know, let's do some bigger chunks. Let's delete all this with system things and see if any of those make a difference. Let's do it. Does it still? It's still freaking downloading all this shit. So yeah, I mean, and this is a relatively good connection, right? I'm not even speaking about German or US, American countryside. Oh yeah, Open LDAP, right? I mean, who in their right mind would, and here NSS with NSPR stuff, who in their right, and I was not joking, right? I was not joking when I said it downloads. Okay, this still fails apparently. Crazy stuff. Maybe we should sometimes just check that this still works. Yeah, I actually was hoping that I figured it out in 30 minutes. I did not expect to, like, what, I mean, okay, to be fair, there are like multiple dozens of config switches. I guess it still works, yeah, like. I mean, if I wouldn't do this here, document this live on YouTube, I wouldn't believe myself that, like, in some combinations, this builds. And it's as per usual, right? Even with 20 plus years experience, I expected, okay, it will be some environment variable of CC or LD and stuff, but no, it isn't. It's even with preparing that a little bit this morning, it couldn't come to my mind that it is some config option here. This is so entirely crazy. I mean, the first things are tested. What? I mean, you know what? Let's just start deleting this shit from the bottom and see when it. There says in the past companies were a lot more open to rebuilding their product. I'm not. I mean, I didn't work for Coral and stuff. It's CorelDRAW. I guess they're still around, right? Just I met someone who was a manager there previously. Looks like they're still around. I mean, what if I would have had as much money as Elon Musk or something? I would probably do small products, but good. Like it's like a small. I mean, sure, Apple has like Pages. Oh, like this fails differently. I mean, how can I'm like basically like just a good word processor. I mean, maybe Apple does it a little bit, but the crazy thing is Apple is more in the lifestyle business of selling you AirTags and iPhones and stuff. I mean, somewhat Apple did the somewhat more right thing of this Pages and Keynotes and stuff, just that they mostly neglect that, and it's not I don't have the impression that it's a priority. It's like a little bit, yes, they have there something, it's not totally amazing. It's like, yeah, they abandon former productivity stuff. It is also, in my opinion, crazy that the last decade of previous video, right, the history of macOS, I mostly see they have their bling bling features of like unimportant UI stuff, and maybe it is cliche to say they're like a lifestyle company, but that is my impression, right? They have basically for 10 years, I would argue, sure I mean, even the iPhone and iPad were not. There were other. I mean, I had a Sony 600M or something, or 600i or whatever. It could do some basic internet and email, which and stylus input. Which actually, it was. I'm sure it was like 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 years, 3 years before the iPhone or something, and you could do email, and it was enough to answer emails. And sure, it has a bigger screen and capacitive touch and stuff. It's not like there was no precedent of iPhone stuff. And as I said, even if you would say, yeah, I mean, even with building a small office suite, the problem is, of course, nowadays, I mean, and the crazy thing is for like PC and Mac software, people do not spend that much money. The crazy stuff is if you sell it for $9.99 in the App Store, people would even buy it. But the craziest thing, judging from my companies, actually right now it builds. Maybe, I think I just removed this disabled gear. Oh, wait a second, that's the wrong thing. I did actually, probably this. The crazy thing is, the problem is, of course, selling that and then compatibility. And the other thing is also like nowadays everything needs to be in the web. I would, of course, normally not do my office stuff in the web and cloud and stuff and with web applications. But was it a build error or does it build now? It's yeah, the problem of Epic thread repair and stuff. Build output scrolling that fast that you can't barely see it. Also, it's still downloading in the other. Oh, no, it started to build there as well. I think it built now. It starts to build now. Hallelujah. There are, of course, many. I'm not saying it is easy. I'm just saying what I personally would want: small, beautiful things that do core functionality really well. Like basically, basically what my microkernel system dream is like. 90, or like I would, in this case of the Office suite, I would even argue like 90, like 10% of the functionality. I don't need most of the stuff. I mean, sure, like regular formatting needs to work in tables. I mean, I would even argue, knowing what a strange usability experience it is with tables and stuff, I would even argue like 10% of the functionality, and that really done well with that you can edit even. I tried for the ISO standard. I was product leader for the ISO PDF R ISO whatever. Here's a standard. I was product leader for that. I had the pleasure. I've not used Microsoft Office in probably over 15 years. I had the pleasure to edit a formula and use Microsoft Office with all the tracking edit features and stuff. And for a very simple formula, just to calculate the resolution from the pixels of the image X objects in there and stuff, extremely simple formula, like fourth grade or like maybe fifth or sixth grade, and like extremely simple, right? Just with, I needed the whole afternoon of back and forth, and just to have some line break there and have, it was crazy. I mean, where you really need to Google and trick and copy and paste shit just to have a very simple formula formatted the way you freaking want it. And yeah, although formulas are not the very smallest thing, but yeah, it's maybe I should try that. I mean, obviously, the more you share, like, and subscribe, and Patreon and GoFundMe and stuff. There is so much cool. I mean, it's also crazy in 2022 people think like we need a like from scratch, more modern, like properly written, like core functionality Office suite because everything sucks. I mean, it's also crazy that the people, as usual, not invented here, and people don't get their act together, that LibreOffice is even a fork of OpenOffice because the people couldn't get their shit together. It's hilarious. And maybe I would also not get my shit together with this code base, and maybe I would also throw some tantrums and piss each other off. I mean, probably I would get depressed working on this code base, to be honest. Let's copy x2 or to x2. I think the thing I deleted, where you can see the diff x2 building to x2, right? Not probably org. All right, now we have lots of double dashes. So it's probably some of this disable things. All right, let's first try like some big stuff. Maybe it doesn't build out. Maybe it doesn't build without skier or something. Oh wait, did I copy that wrong? Org to what? There we have it. Let's see if we need like, we also have disable C cache. We had this already in the beginning. Oops, hello, go away, please. Hello, terminal. Oh man. Oops. So let's try without that, and skier, and where's this canvas? Oh, the car canvas. Although it is also crazy that this somehow results in link, libzol, whatever link stuff. I would also expect that like those architects of this crazy code Frankenstein of a code base, I would also expect that the configure script doesn't allow to configure without core parts that are needed for it to actually freaking build TM. Does it look good? I think it looks good. Could be something of that sort. Which is crazy. I mean, and that is the thing, right? What is wrong with the setup of the build system? If it allows you to configure stuff, if you have like some library missing, you would expect that it's like search order, like tool chain, something of that sort, but not that. I mean, that is crazy that we could have had LibreOffice building for a long time if it would apparently not for this simple option flag. Crazy. I expected everything, but not this option. This is crazy. And if it is a core component, if it's like a primary mandatory dependency, maybe don't have a configure option to disable this random shit. Just a thought. Not that I would know anything about building software. So. Coffee is also, yeah. Okay, that actually looks like a freaking builds TM. So which of those two was it now? Let's try with skier only. I mean, we could. So now the next thing comes. What is here? Okay, so this is it's building in tempfs. So far, so good. By the way, how much did it freaking download? Where was it? What was the name of the? Okay, maybe we can. Command line editing for pros. Oh, come on. External tables. Only 402 megabytes. Yeah, so the problem is if the whole world is loading from the bloody servers, it is obviously no wonder that it takes forever. So what we can do is, oh come on. Wow, this barcode recognition thing is even one of the largest. Wouldn't surprise me if it comes with some other. How many are with some other dependencies? 90 downloads. So what I probably do is should this stuff recognize when it is downloaded? So what we probably also should do, although we live stream already over 1 hour, totally not pretending to work in the home office. And also I would have been totally more efficient sitting in the office, right? Totally game changer of commuting with traffic jam or public transport to some bloody office to do the same stuff. Let's LibreOffice. Hello, LibreOffice. Let's delete the last line there and maybe put that. Did I copy that? Let's put like very important stuff up. So like with Java probably, and so we think we probably need one of those three. Let's see what happens, and which is of course crazy that these options exist and don't build without this stuff. And what else did I want? Right, the other was let's see, cache and GCC. Okay, we have internal GCC. Are you freaking kidding me, TM? That's so sad. If they really build their own GCC compiler, it's maybe I should double check this. It would be a scandal in itself. But I have so often this whole software architecture. It's not even the fault of open source. Oh, where's GCC? Maybe where is now my Java thing? Ah, there. Oh, wait, what? Ah, Ccache. Where's my Ccache? Did I delete it somehow? Oops. Maybe combine that to save. It's not only open source. Oops. Of course, proprietary software is not necessarily much better. Not risk 5, where's my... too many builds. Even there. Oh, wait, there. I'm totally not saying that, I mean, proprietary software, only the people get depressed and need to deal with their monumental cathedral failing build systems. I mean, certainly good luck working at Microsoft. Actually, I heard from people, need to be careful, they shouldn't get into trouble, but I heard from people working at Microsoft that their build system and building and stuff, even working on their internal software and with their Azure stuff is at times highly inefficient and waiting like 15 minutes for checkouts, for builds, for deployments, for continuous integration. I even heard like some Azure continuous integration stuff, like easily you want to get some stuff done and like you basically, at least that's what I heard, wait 30 minutes and like wait 30 minutes like that. For your build stuff to, for your Azure stuff to deploy in your internal Azure cloud stuff for that. So what we probably want to do is we want to download some of the stuff and let's hope we can easily inject this. I mean, we disabled lots of stuff now, because the problem is, especially in our tutorial, not only all the problems I mentioned earlier, but the problem for me is each time we need to rebuild this, it's because it's in the temporary T2 download, we have this downloaded again. So the only, actually the one problem, however, so is shit. If we pre-download that, our stuff would automatically download this as set standard. That is of course not ideal. I mean, this is accept. Although maybe if we are lucky, maybe we can get away with that or we patch it. Either the modern tar auto detects the compression, or if they specifically hardcode the compressor, we could actually patch that. But ideally, I would want to optimize that to... ideally, I would want to optimize that to not download this stuff always all over again. I wonder if these are the original downloads unmodified. I would hope so, though, but yeah. So this should download significantly less because we disabled so much stuff. At least that is what I hope. Wait a second, do we still have LibreOffice here? Do they have an install target nowadays? So I didn't configure with anything. Do they then default to user local? Yeah, user local. My user local should be mostly empty. Usually I don't install anything. Ah, 0. That would be good. Because I wonder what Mac install does. Setup OSL is not one. Hello, you're freaking kidding me. Oh, wait a second, did I? Oh wait, this was LibreOffice built here actually. Huh? This one is built. Also doesn't build. Is it fully built? Hey, this stuff. Yeah, so with all this shit disabled, it obviously only downloads random stuff for 5 minutes instead of 15. Okay, maybe this is because we renamed it. Actually, you know what? LibreOffice, let's delete that. I hope we don't need it anymore. Yeah, this is a PCIe 4 NVMe, and it's like it deleted on a epic thread-ripping Ryzen 50 It even deleted in 5 seconds or something. If you had any illusion how many millions of files this were. Move LibreOffice build to LibreOffice. Let's see if that's build. Okay, somehow I guess I had reconfigured that. Shit. Okay, let's hope it doesn't rebuild everything. Wait, this is still okay. So this is libicu4c. Thank you very much. So this is exactly the problem, right? So we found some other stuff. ICU4c. Theoretically it should work, but somehow it doesn't. And now we need to download all this shit again, which more. Also, I think we wanna shortcut that a little bit. Let's make it a little bit efficient of running and error log to x, and that is what we use now. Oops. There, and then ICU system ICU. There's even 2 maybe. Oops. LibreOffice. Source it again. So let's hope that doesn't. Oh yes, I know. Freaking! I want to shoot myself in the foot now. So welcome everyone. Yeah, Dash wonders how many times it all downloaded OpenSSL. Yes, it downloaded to lots of stuff a couple of times. Let's yeah, so now it downloads probably ICU4c. So what we want to do is, so where is the external something curl fetch log off? Where is freaking curl is bash curl here. There. So okay, this build. So let's see. Does it properly install something? It installed actually, indeed. Okay, that is amazing. So, yeah, 2022. You find it amazing when freaking shit actually finally freaking installs. LibreOffice. What disappoints me the most is that I could have had this for years already, and just because this bug looked so ugly. I mean, I wasted already multiple times of my life, and that is the thing, right? With each of those major packages, I waste easily a couple of hours. I mean, sure, it's more than. I mean, I get a huge source for free, but it still wastes a lot of time, right? I only hope these are unmodified original things. We should check this because we have downloads for other packages. The good thing is if these are the same unmodified downloads, we could share that actually. Download with other packages. We should check that, however, eventually LibreOffice. Okay, this did somehow not also best with did I over substituted something? So just having it there, this doesn't solve all of that. So wait a second, it has a second ICU4c. Yeah, so this download is somehow not the fastest. So this is okay, data. So ideally we should use the system, but maybe our system 1 is too new now or whatever. That is for another day. Today I only want this freaking shit to work because I need on my desktop. As you know, I'm migrating from macOS, which has peak bugs, back to my own Linux desktop, and obviously all the regular daily stuff I need needs to work. So first work and then fine-tuning later. So just adding it there doesn't... wait, this still fails? What fails now? This was that one or not? What fails now though? Segmentation fault, you see? Why does that no segmentation fault? You can't make this shit up. That is disappointing. When you think you are done, oops. LibreOffice here, let's make, no, let's source it and see, double check if that is in the T2 environment or configure option combinations again. Is it? Yeah, it's really. It could also be that they mix Clang and Clang, and because I saw they're testing for Clang, whatever. It could also, so this could be that they mix now Clang and GCC. Maybe they have some compiler hard-coded somewhere, and theoretically we want to use GCC. We can actually check what is, yeah, they apparently this is using Clang++. Maybe we, I mean, ideally we would in the future eventually be able to cross-compile that. It's like, yeah, long, it's like not I do that tomorrow. Okay, that builds better than not at all. Also LibreOffice for the P3, obviously, right? Wait a second, did we build this with Mac? Do I build this in the right environment? Yes, I do. It's a lot, recurring theme here, it's a lot of detective work, right? I also know, I mean, there is also a reason that some people drop out of STEM things. You need, and because it's even biology or chemistry and stuff, it's a lot of, some would say boring. I mean, even I find this boring, right? I would say like working on OCR, on neural networks, on more amazing stuff. A lot of stuff is certainly more interesting than this boring and cumbersome, and like basically working with depressive strange of cathedral constructions of craziness. Why did it build? Why did it fail previously? Why does it build now and fail previously? No, was I not building in here? I don't even know how long this builds actually. I mean, previously, I mean the crazy thing is, I said this 100 times before in other live streams. The crazy thing is 15 plus years ago, oh no, it still fails here though. It's most likely, if this LTO wrapper fails, it's usually, I don't even have this in that look there. Maybe it's mixing. We unset that. Let's hope that potentially is enough to. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should actually build with freaking Ccache. Although, if it's using the wrong compiler, it wouldn't work with our Ccache. So yeah, I wanted to say it's certainly not a surprise that so many people drop out of stems, not necessarily because they are not good enough, simply because a lot of stuff is super boring. And I mean, honestly, and this is a recurring theme here, right? My critical thinking and like my two cents here, my €2 cents, that a lot of the stuff is also really not good, right? Normally, if you would need to get extra payments, would need to get a bonus of working with this craze of a build system, of even the code base, right? I mean, I would actually imagine how slow everything is, like building, rebuilding, like even working on those modules, right? I mean, sure, one small, humble human person can only work on the smallest, tiniest fraction of a code thing. This still fails, which is crazy. So this is GCC in OO Splash. Thank you very much. We probably should check if that is our. It is crazy when you think you're finally done and it still fails in different ways. And yeah, a lot of the stuff is also like, it's not really fulfilling to, what is this here now? Rerun with update? And well, maybe lots of people, I mean, besides it's boring and cumbersome work and stuff, where even do I have this now? Somehow it wants, why does it want that? Maybe a lot of people also realize that this is too much random nonsense for them to work on, like totally, like it makes them depressive to see all this overloading. And even for me, right, if I wouldn't run I mean, I would even voluntarily not work on this stuff if it would not be for my own Linux distribution, and I would, like, without my Linux, I mean, obviously I would install a Linux distribution package or just run it on macOS or Windows. Although seeing, I mean, honestly, LibreOffice is not even good, right? Last but not least, it doesn't look good, especially like on macOS, it looks completely Frankenstein. It similarly is cumbersome to work with. It has bugs and stuff. I have some X there, though. Is it the latest one? I don't know. This is really silly that it wants a recall. Maybe I should actually read the freaking. What is that? Because it's still okay. It's our own stuff. What was the last thing we have done? So it should be X. So, does it? We do not have. Yeah, shit, where is this for now? What did we, I mean, okay, we could grab this from, again, from the look. I was slightly wondering where this file is now, though. Not like we have not done it often enough already. But long story short, in my opinion, we need much better software architecture, computer architecture, even computer architecture. I would even argue that like the setup with, yes, there are high performance AMD and NVIDIA GPUs, but I would even argue we need in general better computer architecture, but especially software. All the stuff is stitched, this old-fashioned thing of stitch or something with a hot needle or stuff. It's simply not good architecture. Everything is so bit rotten, and this is also why we have security issues all over, right? All the big projects using gazillions libraries, then there are bugs and security issues, like security vulnerabilities all over that. This is really cumbersome too. Yeah, I mean, I knew why I like repeating myself. I know I've not done this for a long time. And I really also have really other things to do, which is also exactly why I had this bounty. It's like I thought some newcomers, some student, like, oh, this really failed now. I thought we had solved that. We sorted. What do we have here with? Oh wait. Why do we have system ICQ in there again? Do we also have? Did I use? How did we come to that here? Maybe we didn't find the root cause of that yet after all. Not even. So what else have we there? Yes, this is I think this internal compiler error is most likely, sure, we could analyze that, but my gut feeling is it is mixing LTO stuff. Maybe it's internally adding LTO. How did I make clean? Do we need to make clean for that? Shit, why does this still happen? I thought we had. I thought we had figured that it was. Maybe it needs more though. Let's see what happens in a moment. Yeah, so this Uno Zal things, what is the link that fails? Yeah, Uno Zal stuff. But I think this is somehow the reason I YOLO around that, which my otherwise pro tip is not like, usually my pro tip is like really analyze this and not like randomly try around this, just because that is such a monumental, huge, humongous failing piece of accumulated random garbage, basically a landfill of all random sources you could ever find somewhere, which is why I, on a high level, actually wanted to first find out what is actually the freaking issue here. Well, you can't mix this stuff up. Is it still failing? So the problem is, I'm confused. No, I can't be sure which of those things it is. Let's try that in or is it, you know what, maybe it is probably possible. Maybe we should also remove this arch thing. Okay, let's first see. It's like here, never-ending story, right? Never-ending story. It's so much to debug. Savings environment, aircon off. Cheers, tap water. Did you know that drinking tap water can save up to 80% or something resources compared to driving bottled water through the logistics chain, and having big mega corporations like Nestle pumping, I mean, most of the bottled water also like just what otherwise is piped, otherwise is tap water in some region where big mega corporations like Nestle pump it out there and bottle it and ship it to you, right? So cheers. At least that is what I read, that saves over 80% or so of resources. So nothing like unless you live in areas where the tap water is so contaminated that it freaking is flammable. Crazy. It really occurs here as well. This is an interesting. Let's remove this arch thing here, and so there is indeed even more, which is crazy. So let's maybe remove this build. I mean, it shouldn't, but maybe it goes into some cross-compile mode and does even more random havoc. Yeah. Why do they think if a person compiling this script from source they wouldn't know about root? Yeah, and also, how do they think if a person compiling this shit from source that they wouldn't know how to install the freaking dependencies? I would rather, I mean, even in T2, I would rather prefer if it just freaking works TM and not like randomly crashes, to package all those dependencies, and also like I would prefer they spend the resources to have a nice configure, like a configure that is hard-coded and set up in such a way to only allow me to build it in combinations that actually support it and are known to build and don't have core dependencies or like core components missing that will randomly error out, than them having this infrastructure of having all those dependencies built. I would also rather, if I knew I need this dozen of dependencies, I would rather have spent this hours packaging all those dozens of dependencies in T2, some of which we don't have yet because nobody ever needed them so far. And this is still fairly common. This is hilarious. What the freaking heck is even going on there? This is so hilarious. So we're basically back to the drawing board and figuring out which freaking dependency, what is going on there now. This is so crazy. OCPP, what the heck is... Revenge. This is Hans below. Actually, I'm not sure where that is exactly. Is it still in desktop executable splash screen? This is so bizarre. Do we have this SED somewhere in here or there? Here we have that. X3 to X3, X something. Yeah. Oh. Ah. This is so crazy. Which one should that be now? This is so crazy that this shit just failed somehow. all I wanted is LibreOffice on my system. Where do I have that? Somewhere I had. Was it not this, or did I close it prematurely? Yeah. Make clean. Oh wait, no, this is configured already. Yeah, I mean, thankfully we have. Does it? I'm actually not sure. We actually, yeah, that is the point. I mean, if it does LTO, then it does that itself. Wait, configure. Do they have an LTO? Oh, yes, enable LTO. Yeah, thanks for that. We probably should. So all those X files, they are just what I. Saved into X files for debugging purposes. Let's see what happens with it. William Leslie asked, does LTO do shared libraries? Yes, of course. In general, LTO works. They just save this. Oh, wait a second. I mean, yeah, I mean, your final link, eventually this LTO works also for shared objects. This LTO just saves their internal bitcode representation, bytecode. Anyway, internal representation. And when it needs to produce binary files, it is using that and using the whole program. So the only thing is, I mean, beside bugs, and the only thing where LTO stuff usually fails, or I've seen it to fail, is this whole program or whole component level, whole link level, if it has multiple symbols and other such, I mean, the level of trickery, like basically multiple symbols and with the same name, of course, and similar such stuff, then it's doing. It still has. Wait a second. Did I do that wrong? Maybe I did do that wrong. I did do this wrong. Did nobody realize that? For what do we have the audience? So yeah, in general, LTO should always work, but just in practice it doesn't. Obviously, as we're currently seeing here, usually it also fails for exotic architectures like MIPS or like FinDSP or like Itanium or Spark 64 or PowerPC. It fails because it's less tested, and then there are more relocations, like with smaller offsets or other variants, or and such things, and then it randomly fails with relocation objects, relocation offsets too large. Or I would also argue it, like LTO should like never fail unless you do really crazy stuff of undefined behavior. In my opinion, it should not fail for MIPS or ARM or Itanium or Spark or RISC-V or HPPA, Hewlett Packard Precision Architecture. With relocations, I think such implementation details that the programmer should not directly see. Or now it says Volume. We are back to that. This is crazy. I thought we were done with it. Shit, why does it now? I see you. This is crazy. I mean, we should be able to div that. Did we not hit x2 to x3x or something? So that, I think this should be what we previously built. I hope the C cache is somewhere in there. Hopefully something. A lot of stuff we just had deleted. What do we div from? What do we have still? I see you in there? No. But there was this program filter, bin filter. Let's remove all of this nonsense and so basically the hunt continues. It would have been so nice if we would have been done. We could use the time already to prepare code for LibreOffice for our downloads. Maybe we actually build that. Maybe we should build the C cache to potentially speed it up a little bit, but more comments should be disable LTO or something. I think I had that, or disable works should not. Yeah, I thought I mean, maybe you watched the stream as 5 minutes delay or stuff. How did that? Are we out of memory or what? What is going on there now? Or did we not download something? Did we not have this downloaded? Apparently not. Okay, that still fails. This is hilarious. Oh man, okay, more diff. As you're saying, sometimes when make a package work, go look at other. Yeah, I looked at other distributions, but these options are just too many. It's simply not viable. What do I diff x2 to x? It doesn't help if it's so many options that you. Oh wait a second. Also, this diffs maybe. It doesn't help if. I mean, it's like basically completely entirely different, and I mean, obviously they also have a lot of glue code of disabling. Enabling options based on packages. Maybe I even looked into that. I think like probably a year ago I looked into that, but it only helped me to see that for other distributions it must build. I mean, obviously, I mean, even for me it built with many of those options. But then, did it download that now? Okay, let's download that now. Oops, wrong, stop. But yeah, I mean, I don't need this often. I mean, most small packages like set standard and setlib and stuff are also not as crazy. Okay, I cancel that. I basically only want I wanted match source file p. So what we want is, so that is the whole path. What other? Let's check what other options. So what we need to do is we need to hook into the build and copy our own downloads to save this re-download time. Does this have an option to print original? bset2, okay, show parse n, apparently maybe n. Cool. So we need the original file name. the only thing is actually, even in this example, we have like most cases already. I think they should. Okay, it's a little t set standard. It's a bit complex. It's crazy that we have like most exceptions in this area. This still fails. Oh my god. God give me patience. Good that I have patience already. I thought, you know what, let's double check that this x2 thing should have been what worked, wasn't it? Not that this x2 thing was already not fully working. Let's see what happens when you have some time. So, where does it want this downloads? Yeah. Okay, maybe just configure, then we should have... That is dash versus bash. Thankfully, most of the rest of this configure script appears to work with dash. AVX 512 support. Did I not disable Java? Without Java. This is why I usually script this stuff. What graphical interface? A question, Mr. Lloyd. What graphical interface are we using in T2? Well, right now it is what covers 5? What the heck? What else did we disable? Still fails. Executable. Looks like this was a combination that doesn't build as well, apparently. Maybe I should have let the whole build run through and not after it's starting to build, call it a day. So this is, I mean, why does it have JavaScript? Because obviously you want to script your Office suite with JavaScript, right? And probably this is a must-have feature also with Microsoft stuff. If Microsoft does this, basically macros and programming and stuff. So graphic, I mean, we have, in T2 we have all KDE Gnome stuff, of course with their respective bugs and stuff. I personally, I don't need much. I mean, I mostly need the freaking console terminal thing. But otherwise, yeah, Dave says everything is JavaScript. I mean, even your PDF viewer has JavaScript because obviously ECMAScript is a supported feature of PDF, if you didn't know, right? Which is also, speaking of things not amazing in IT, not everything should have JavaScript support. The world probably would have been a better place with all that. So yeah, we wanted to find out where it downloads it, so that is work, hello? LibreOffice, work to download, what did we not? External tables, why is there work to download? What is CD, temp, tables, temp external, fetching, boost, bash. Why is it, by the way, building this verbose stuff? But no, bash, curl, there too. external fetch log. The question is, how do they run tar? So this should be in, I hope they don't use the fetch log to control what they fetched. I hope just placing it there is enough. External. That's actually the whole stuff there. The problem is we need the original name. Also build. Okay, this is ICU4C though. Let's work on our hook here. Are you saying NT2 or? Also no coffee. That is a problem if you work in the home office, right? You can't tell Elon Musk's secretary to please bring you coffee though. While he promises her a pony. So, external tarboards. Libre. That's the fun stuff. Function. Also, do we even need this? Maybe not. LibreOffice download. Mr. 32. Okay, interesting font config error. Good that you say that. I obviously don't use that often. Yeah, patches welcome. You can post on the Discord and maybe other people will chime in and help you there. Otherwise, you could file at GitHub. We need to filter out the LibreOffice. So, I mean, either we, what would it be? Head minus, head minus, this tail minus one maybe? Oh, no, minus one, yeah. Okay, fine, I think we simply skip the first something, or like, something off. Wait a second. Did we? No, we didn't need the first one. So maybe there is some combination of head and tail to skip all but the first, but whatever. For now, we do that, and then we need to. What do we run here? We run bz2 file name. bz2 file name. How did it work? Was it ICU4C something? It's just test, should not matter, I hope. Tar bz2. Okay, that works. So just that. Also, it's not a bzip2 anymore, but wait a second, did I wanted to test something else. I wanted to test if it works with a URL, user source, whatever, yada, download. That apparently works. Good. So we want for file. What is our build even doing? What even is it freaking doing there? Shit, and I thought it works now. That is so ridiculous. I mean, maybe we should just build it without all options for now or something. I probably should write a script. Obviously, as per usual, I should have followed my own recommendations. Of course, it doesn't scale to manually go through all this stuff and with typos and confusion and mix-ups. For f in those, for f in all those file names, without substitution, without the first LibreOffice, do echo f done, and we want so we need two things actually. So that is original file, a name, then we need like should we call this f2? I don't know. bzip2 file name, so we need actually that. Like maybe download, like download equals that stuff, bzip2 file name of that, of each of those. For f in f, maybe we don't need that. So, and then we need from that file remove everything. Everything from the beginning, because we need the pure file name, and then we need to, what do we do, copy that, or what is it even? That should be the I think that should be the usable path. Then we need, I mean, we probably can zoom link it for performance, I would hope. From the download to external tarboards. And so then the only question is if they do manually decompression or rely on the system tarball. Otherwise we would need to do additional either recompression, trigger time wasting. I mean, recompressing that is less wasted time of downloading that each time, but I would ideally prefer to not recompress it. So link it to that. Ah, wrong. What? Include file for Tom, method not found. What? How is it now? What the heck? Yeah, syntax error. For all this good stuff, okay, there is some quotes missing. Backticks, how you want to call those. Yeah, if you thought you have seen it all, then maybe we should only gradually test one for one. And so now it's doing stuff. Let's test the log file for our... we didn't actually run this code because we are stupid. Pre-conf or pre-make. Pre-make file maybe. Pre-make 5. It is crazy. I mean, sure, I get it. We get millions of lines of code for free. But nonetheless, it's neither, it's not how software should be architectured. It's neither fulfilling nor a good example. And my recurring theme of imagine that multiplied not only me, but 1,895 distributions of all of Linux, plus the people actually trying to work on this stuff. Still didn't actually left this. Do we get some error, or what do we have here running? Configure. Running make. What happened with our hook? LO targals. Pre-make hook and pre-make. What happened there? Yeah, totally. This is why I wanted to pay someone 40 euro for this. Why did I do something? What did I do wrong? Maybe I think I have typo in this option there. How did I mess? I fat fingered B for N. But long story short, with my recurring theme of making fun of other billionaires here, I would actually say that the biggest boost for productivity would be not to architect software this way. My understanding is even SpaceX is doing. People asked previously, LibreOffice has JavaScript. Yeah, I posted in some previously breaking news here that Tesla is using JavaScript, I think even Electron or Chrome or Electron based stuff for their UI stuff of redundant x86 system of just running web UI stuff for the flight controls and stuff. Sorry. So yeah, Electron in your office suite has like Electron in your basic stuff, right? What did I fat finger now? How did I manage to do that? So yeah, 2022 or 2020 or stuff years ago, or the last year's JavaScript and Chromium Electron on your flight control stuff. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, other also say honestly, they use plain text for documentation. Yeah, good tip. I totally agree with that. What did we? So we did stuff there. Let's check the log file, and then we also need to check that they actually use that. Where's our ln? So we link with symlink mirror ICU stuff. So we symlink. So that is the question now. Is there I will watch carefully whether that magically works. With symlink, so that is set standard to. I mean, the GNU tar will grok that. The zip obviously will just work. So yeah. Okay, we can let this run. What I will do then next, or what we could actually do already. Okay, building something there now. It's so hilarious. So basically, I will, even if we, I mean, the cool thing is people tune in, which obviously is amazing. I need new coffee though. Do you think I can motivate? Is there someone to motivate to bring me coffee? Where is my coffee machine? The reason Electron because barrier to entry probably cross-platform reasonable, well, much. So the problem is I don't even find. Yeah, so the problem is that I would say. In my opinion, developing web stuff especially like well-behaving and good-looking UI stuff, is extremely time-consuming, right? Sure, Win32 is annoying. I used it personally. GTK Plus is also not a dream. I would actually say this core stuff was actually quite good for what it was decades ago. Sure, I get it. If you use cross-platform and you use GTK, even Qt, previous video, right, is not amazing. It's a similar cathedral, everything but the kitchen thing. Or if in the meantime they didn't add a kitchen thing, certainly they added database and web Qt, WebKit there. But the crazy thing is, web development is not even a very efficient software writing paradigm for UI stuff. It's just crazy that all our other solutions, we have many, right? We have GTK, we have Qt, we have WX widgets, we have Fox Toolkit, we have other stuff, all the other modern stuff. Right now it builds a little bit though. It is crazy how randomly. I mean, basically everything you touch of this bloody LibreOffice stuff randomly errors out. It's crazy. But yeah, it's certainly a testament of how otherwise not amazing, and it is crazy though that we produce a not very good result. Like this Electron stuff is like usually like a magnitude slower compared to native software, like at least somewhat reasonable written. The download size is like 10x. Usually, at least for like always shipping a browser, also like security and error proneness and stuff. And then probably in my opinion, what you save in like not having to deal with native platform stuff, you probably pay in having way less efficient, like dealing with HTML and CSS and frameworks and around that to create your somewhat native looking UI stuff. I mean, the only benefit then of that is you can reuse some of this stuff potentially for your website or so. But all in all, it's the result is slow, less than optimal, also slow and huge, and it is crazy that it has so many drawbacks that should outweigh the benefit of not having to do with native development. But yeah. It is also crazy that on so many apps, like even like Instagram, all this stuff is like mostly web applications, and like basically combining the drawbacks of web application with the drawbacks of pseudo-native. It would be so much better, like we would have web OS of similar to web OS thing of what you did initially Palm, and then I think it was Palm, right? We would also be in a better place with our post-market OS and like Linux-based mobile stuff if there would be like at least a web standard for web applications, so that you could download like not like this web app that would be Instagram or Skype or Zoom or stuff, and you would not have had Wallet Garden logged in stuff. And but yeah. Okay, so what do we have here? We have here some stuff. Okay, it's starting to build there some stuff. I'm surprisingly fast, strangely enough. Let's go to this log file and package more curl downloads. I could even leave a comment in there in this T2 desk of how to extract that. So basically grabbing for curl. And then we want to maybe break that on new lines or stuff, because it is either translate each space to new line or so, and then grab all the HTTPS stuff or so. How many hours look reasonable? Oh, 38. Okay, this download here is stupid, but that's what it is now. I would put the checksum stuff at the end and not there, but yeah, that is what it is now. It's not cool, but yeah. So they download, do they seriously freaking download multiple? Oh no, this is PD and PG over DP. So maybe maybe do they also download some HTTPS stuff? No, 38. So we need to download all of them. Of course, I don't copy and paste them. Let's also, because I leave this comment in there, we want actually to, actually, you know what, we can use SED at once. Let's do that later. SED, substitute, like basically substitute, let's capture that in two parts and reverse them, because we need to download separately. So that would be capture, two captures, and then like basically everything until the last slash, and then does that work too? Terminated either 2, 1. Maybe we need to better. Oh no, that works already. Good. We need to add a trailing slash again and a checksum. So that would be. We could also directly put our detect there. Then that would be that. That we save for the next person to update that. And then we add that to the LibreOffice disk. So these are all the freaking downloads, at least those. I'm sure there are more. So let's add a comment there of grabbing curl. Let's abbreviate this a little bit. People need to be so intelligent to find the log. TRZ, all right, we theoretically, yeah, I mean, we could doesn't matter much. We could combine that with SAD of not print and then matching HTTP and print that, but it's actually longer and takes my time now, so YOLO. So what I would want to know is if that works. So I cancel that build. We probably, hey, that even freaking built here. Didn't even build that long. I mean, didn't build that long. Epic thread ripping horizon. Also, other people agree Electron is awful. So let's try that. The test would be that it uses, oh wait, we didn't download that. Download LibreOffice. And so let's find out which other switches didn't build. That would be X3, X2, X2, oops, X2. Yeah, I removed quite some stuff there. It could be so many of those. So some of this disable stuff breaks the build somehow, who knows what. There's some splash screen scripting. Whatever it is, maybe I should. Yeah, the problem is I basically grabbed full somewhere, I maybe in the configure help or something. That was from to X2. I mean, at least we have some combinations that builds. I think we should be there in 30 minutes. I just wish I had a freaking coffee though. I have no idea if XML segment the problem with LibreOffice. The crazy thing is, but this is also management driven, like manager who say like home office sucks when in reality we can work here super efficiently, except we're out of coffee and tap water. That are those managers who dictate like you use freaking Electron because I only want one web developer team, right? And then we get like slow and shit. I mean, who in their right mind would decide and want to write an application UI with web technology, right? I mean, like basically kind of sort of nobody, right? How do we do that? Probably we... I mean, I maybe disable, what is this disable stuff? I mean, I could even, do we even have this PostgreSQL DBC? This sounds like a big thing that's potentially a handful of packages. I mean, the good thing we have this version. You know, you debug random open office shit too long or 2 hours 30. You're kidding me. Okay, we had that in there. Which were others? Maybe we. Let's keep some relatively big ones in there. Like this needs debug. It's I think I delete this egg, or yeah, I think I delete this egg stuff there. Like what is pro? Because I want this to build later. We can, if later this ever gets on someone's nerves or pisses someone off and stuff, and whatever commercial T2 targets they want to ship. OpenCL, it's maybe this one, Libre logo. Maybe that is a thing that breaks some splash screen. Bean shell. This ZX thing was big though. let's see what's built from that. And I mean, it shouldn't hurt, but then at least, maybe it's better. I think we have a better overview if we don't have this random stuff. Oh, I see. All right, that wasn't building. And then we anyway should correctly set those up. Maybe I even do that before committing that, this extra work of typing all those if installed, then some other, what's that? I mean, maybe even we delete that here. Who knows in what state non-GTK stuff is. And I don't know, maybe that broke something. Also all those lines, I mean, it's obvious, right? It doesn't disable mono when it already, who knows if it works. We should correctly wire that all to dependencies that if you have this installed then. And it fails otherwise with enable VB and now let's who knows. Yeah, let's hope for the best of stuff. Shit. Yeah, we stop this, as usual. Basically, without the live stream, I mean, sure, I could have maybe answered some customer email and stuff, but also, are we building already? Without live stream, it wouldn't be that faster, and at least growing this community, having a chat, entertaining you. Also, Dave says also, company laptops are garbage. Yeah, unless you're Elon the King Musk, then probably everyone else's laptop might be garbage. Yeah. Also, what is no package Poplar found? What is it now? Poplar something. How does that fail? So Liptometh. Maybe we should. Okay, let's also significantly reduce those because I want it. I mean, that should be quite decent. Do we have this twice? Expert. I think this looks to be twice in there for some reason. I mean, usual stuff and other crazy stuff. Does it really use all of this? Serve, neon, open, SSL, and who knows what? Do we have the proxy twice? Apparently. It probably downloads not even more because we disabled some, yeah. There's clue, scene core. So let's prepare grabbing that already. Could even for the fun, because it probably downloads some. Could actually change that. I hope at the end of the day, like midnight and stuff, I have finally freaking working LibreOffice. We could, and I mean, theoretically, we probably even could. Yeah, let's not overcomplicate, but let's maybe combine that one here to I mean, it doesn't really make it that much shorter, right? But basically it needs to start with HTTP. This is actually all we need here, right? Oops. Alright, because it's not VI. HTTP and then print, maybe that is all we need. There we have it. Let's update this fun stuff. Regular expression wizardy. LibreOffice. Curl, all this good stuff, and wait, I had this copied. So not print by default and HTTPS all, and then print it. And theoretically we need to do if we ever finish packaging Google Chromium, which Notech also was working on. Probably someone, do we have to do for that? All right, didn't have to close it down. What did I say, Chrome? So much stuff here. Chromium, I think. Here. We have that. Hey, that even is a bounty. Okay, you know what? Let's be more generous here too. Live on this channel. There you have it. If you want to get rich with open source, live here on our Linux distribution. That is T2, right? Which other Linux distribution pays you for this stuff? That was fast. Undefined reference to random. I wonder if it correctly extracts its stuff though. Oh, a little bit laggy right now. That comes from home office, right? Laggy secure shell. With German freaking broken internet volume logs of Vodafone's failing doxes of out here. Oops. Maybe it failed already. So we're symlinking this stuff, and let's libpd or something. Does it extract it? That is a question. Does it? Alright, unpicked skier though, I guess. We symlinked it there, it didn't download that, and I guess it runs tar in such a way that it extracts it. It's so much better, right? Obviously, time saver of not downloading this stuff, and certainly, especially if you're on a metered connection and less than stellar, even worse than failing Vodafone DOCSIS infrastructure. That was external. Was it external tabults, and yeah. So this is all the symlinks. Apparently, it looks like it probably did it all. Did it setting? I don't know. Oh, this are okay. Didn't do that though, but it looks otherwise to do that. For some strange reason, right now it starts to build a little bit. Let's see how far. LibreOffice. Do we have a proper install? Like, maybe it would install. What is there? What is that famous saying? I like when a plan works out, except when it doesn't. Okay, SFX pool item off. Okay, that is what we had before. AV media. Disable AV media. Maybe that is not something that works. PDF view, you can't make this show. I think this is some Google-based PDF implementation. Maybe. Okay, let's. I mean, I wouldn't really. I mean, Bluetooth obviously for direct. I mean, also in Office you should not really correctly connect with Bluetooth stuff, right? I mean, it doesn't build it if you want it. Just I don't want this super big stuff. Okay, fine. OpenCL. If it builds it, then it builds it. What could really fail here? Oh wait, CPP unit. Do we have that? I mean, all the other stuff should really work though. If that doesn't work, then I guess also this bin filter, whatever. I have no idea what that is though. And that also removed previously. DLOR requires some pre-built whatever. For Windows registry mainly. You're freaking kidding me. I think here are still more cleanups to be done of decade-old stuff, so let's see how far we... This will be the last try, and then I call it quit for today. And then the home office is calling again, as always my customers think I only pretend to work. Which terminal did I want to? Maybe it downloads more now, obviously, because reasons. CoinMP, of course it does. Yeah, that's basically it. This is how you package an overly complex monolithic cathedral packet, which includes everything but the kitchen sink, from PDF engines, apparently maybe X system headers, CPP unit, yeah, at least this enablement stuff. Yeah, who knows what went there wrong, strange stuff, piece of, yeah. Is this rate limited? Do they run curl with rate limited bandwidth or something? It does not look like that though. Yeah, PDF view, can't mix this stuff up. Let's fill our cache already for the next build. What is the PDF view, right? PDF view, I think this is Google's Chromium based, I think. Probably, is it not? Yeah, build uses the same builds Chromium here. I think this is a PDF implementation of. I think it might actually use some Foxit technology, but this is just vaguely remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. May or may not be. Yeah, what a lifesaver, not downloading. Yeah, unpack tables. So I guess this magically works with them linking it to the wrong extension. Thankfully, we don't need to YOLO their patch or recompress there even more stuff. Yeah, so that leaves a lot to be desired, but yeah. Anyway, more comments. Any other ask me anything where we're freaking also my customers freaking out about now. So is it just me? Obviously my 6-year-old iPhone is getting oldish. But the latest mail, now each time I open mail, it's empty and it needs some seconds to refresh that from some server. Yeah, don't let your miles expire while you never fly. Thank you very much. Yeah, you know, it's not the smallest thing on the recompression. How much is it? Or is it just... Oh no, 8.7. Yeah, but 8.7. So, no. Do we have even more? Of course we... Oh wait, we had this already. I think we added that. Actually, we should actually check that we don't add things multiple times though. Poplar coin. No, I think it's a crazy package. Maybe we give that 5 minutes and see how much epic thread rip there to the next build error faster. How we epic thread rip faster to build errors. Fingers crossed that this is finally enough. Not disablement. Yep. Could either check. Could check what's going on in our Discord and other open source. Nothing going on there. Discord. Actually, I could show that for some shameless Discord promotion. Amazing stuff, loves it. I just need my own IR64. And what else? This stuff is still building. Anything else of significance happening in the world? Something up with Google Mail. What the heck? What is this IPv6? 2022 Google has effectively prevented everyone from supporting IPv6 on their mail service unless I manually force all mail traffic to go Gmail via always use calling their emails bounce. That would explain a thing. I was actually wondering why with our company email we get at times some emails disappearing. Forward, reserved, DNS forward, IPv. Make sure implement this. Yeah, I mean, nowadays you need this bloody shit. Yeah, it's yeah, it's all not that well. Email is a train wreck of a technology. I wish this. Yeah, we should have a higher quality email implementation for decades already. SMTP is really broken beyond repair. Hey, do we need a t-shirt of that? Broken beyond repair. It's still building though. Maybe one of the last Lotus Work Pro, yay. I'm actually, this was quite some YOLOing, this was quite some plumbing. Actually, maybe we can be quite proud of such plumbing. Leave in the comments below. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. We need 10,000 subscribers to unlock merchandise stuff. I have no idea how that works, if it only ships in the US stuff. I usually only look into stuff when it becomes available to us, like YouTube merchandise. I mean, more main channel there in one of those corners. Let me check. Probably that corner there, more main channel, right? So far it's still built though. I wonder how, I mean, this has many features enabled, most of this bloody internalized tarballs. So it builds a lot. I mean, not all, we disabled some database shit, but did we not add that already? I thought we added that originally. Yeah, so that would be kind of the compile time on Ryzen 1550X. How are we? I mean, yeah, it took way too long, like freaking 3 hours. This is obviously way too long for pretending to work on a home office. But that's what it is. But in the long term, for what we need this to work with our T2, and I mean, maybe we should soon get more appliance customers, right? And embedded virtualization and who knows what. But even for ourselves, what we want to use that for, not only in our office, but also automation and on servers. It could in the long run, especially over months and 12 plus months in years, save us time and stuff when we automate some more stuff. Potentially, eventually, maybe. And obviously for people playing along at home, for you and everyone sharing, like, and subscribing and using our tiny little Linux distribution on your vintage and retro P3 SG Octane. I guess we need to cross-build this stuff. Would be funny. Maybe share, like, and subscribe. Maybe 1 year, maybe next year, we cross-compile that to run on a P3 or SG Octane. No promises though, but the more you share, like, and subscribe, the sooner we obviously will do that. You know what is missing? There's a % indicator missing on those build make files. Yeah, so I guess we can update that. I consider that implemented here. So I guess we update. Do we have probably open office? We don't have. We have a package though. If you want to update that, be my guest. Don't pay a bounty for that though. LibreOffice. Or do we have LibreOffice in there too? Interesting. But that is not my comment. Can I edit that? Probably I can't edit my. Can I? Can I really? I can edit other people's things though. Interesting. Cool. Oh, this was no text. So does it show that I edited that? Interesting. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for that. Didn't edit by. Ah, cool. Amazing stuff. I love it. I love when web technology works, which is rare. And obviously it is dead slow on a P3 or SG Octane, so much to web technology. Let's edit that too. I edit that not to avoid confusion, because otherwise people don't read it. So this is why I see here. All right, so we would need to edit that to package LibreOffice dependencies, and as a popularly open of another package. Most of its new I think it said it's, isn't it? Not it is, whatever. I get the idea. So yeah, from getting it to build to package it dependencies, because hopefully it mostly kind of sorta. I mean, it would be really a shame if it still fails like at the end with some random bullshit. And that is a problem, right? With this monolithic monstrosities of cathedral packages that, look at that, right? It's like you need to potentially package and fix so much stuff, right? And even if you spend 3 freaking hours on this random stuff, it can still break in at the end with who knows what crazy, unexpected, unsupported, and implementation defined nonsense. So yeah, that's it for today. It makes no sense. It may or may not build. It probably mostly builds now, as you see. Hope you learned something and had some entertainment, or had some like ASMR for working in your home office. Would be amazing if you give it a thumbs up, if you share, like, and subscribe. And of course, it failed with something. It's like, can't mix this shit up. What is it now? Counting in place of SQL parsers. Like, oh my god, this is hilarious. Yeah, I probably need to. This is so sad. It's such a monumental waste of time. Did we build it fully here, or did I stop because I thought it will eventually build? But yeah, it's just a matter of, it was nothing of what I expected. Yeah, it fully built here. I think we used X or X2. I would have thought we used yeah, we should have used X2. So this set should have built, which is not. So yeah, I just need to sync this later, maybe at midnight or something. It's enough for now for pretending to work. That's it now. You can switch off and see you next time.